Hi, my name is Nicolo Bellavendrum and I want to explain a novel method of thesis writing. AsterWrite is a web-based software. It helps you to create your research outline for proposals and thesis. It is ideal for master's and doctorate students. Check it out at the above site. AsterWrite allows you to work step by step all the way through your program of study. The flowchart here shows how each step is interrelated to the next step. As you complete each step, AsterWrite builds up your proposal or thesis. Thesis writing starts with information about yourself. This information is used elsewhere in the thesis write-up. The numbered fields help you to see where the fields are used later in the write-up. AsterWrite helps you to create your thesis title in a structured way. Identify your topic of interest from a range of selected interests. Analyze the merits and demerits of each topic and rank the topics. Then select the best topic for your research. You can do the same to identify your issue of interest and the scope of interest. Note that topic, issue, and scope are used in the subsequent write-up. Once you have determined your topic, issue, and scope, you can create your thesis title. AsterWrite gives you a menu-based method of writing a good title by connecting topic, issue, and scope in a linguistic manner. Once the thesis title is synthesized, the title page is automated. This shows you how easy it is to create a title page by using information from the candidate information page. Once the title page is synthesized, the approval page is also automatic. Once the approval page is synthesized, the permission page is also automatic. And once the permission page is synthesized, the declaration page is also automatic. Thus, the title page, approval page, permission page, and declaration page are almost spontaneously created following the candidate information and thesis title. AsterWrite provides an elegant way of writing acknowledgement. By using the menu-driven method, you can create very authentic combinations for acknowledgement. Look at the example here. Although dedication is a short sentence, AsterWrite helps you to create your dedication as well. The literature review uses a mind map to structure the contents pertinent to the thesis. You can then elaborate on each aspect as necessary. AsterWrite tracks the items and allows you to classify items according to gap, variable, or selection types. The thesis statement cascades from the thesis title. A menu-driven page allows you to create an authentic sentence to make your statement. Information from the thesis title, namely the topic, issue, and scope, is concatenated with text to form a thesis statement. From the thesis statement, sub-research questions are formed. AsterWrite uses the relationship between appropriate variables to form a statistical test. Suppose a simplified example: drinking green tea reduces weight. Using a novel approach, AsterWrite detects that you want a test for means. You can then choose to conduct a one-sample, two-sample, or paired t-test. AsterWrite can discern if your sub-research question is looking for a test of independence. AsterWrite uses the relationship between appropriate variables to form a statistical test. Suppose a simplified example: is profession related to class? Using a novel approach, AsterWrite detects that you want to test for association. You can then choose to conduct a chi-square test of independence. In fact, AsterWrite can handle many other tests including ANOVA, proportions, and Likert scale. Information from the various research questions cascade to the research hypothesis automatically. Relevant information is presented clearly to show the various tests postulated. Information from the research questions cascades to the research aims and objectives automatically. Relevant information is presented clearly to show the various aims and objectives. AsterWrite provides many applets for testing reliability and validity. AsterWrite handles inter-item, item total, Cronbach alpha, internal consistency, equivalence, and stability reliabilities. It also handles concurrent, predictive, convergent, and divergent validities. AsterWrite also incorporates a Gantt chart for inclusion in your report. You can easily customize the activities and the time scales. Once a statistical hypothesis test is selected, the data structure is available immediately. You can take account of this in developing your research strategy, research design, and research methodology. You can then enter your data in a very simple way. Note that many hypothesis tests are available at the research questions stage. A sample of these is shown here. Most theses only need a few research questions. Many researchers do not know which research design is required for their study. Many simply use the before-after design because they are unaware of other designs. Many researchers are also intimidated by the complexity of the data analysis. With AsterWrite, researchers can deploy several research designs. AsterWrite also includes sample size calculations for many 1 and 2 sample means, proportions, prevalence, differences, and correlations. You can select the sample type and enter relevant questions to obtain the sample size. Once the data is entered, AsterWrite automatically conducts the appropriate analysis. Output includes numerical values, test results, example HO is rejected, and conclusions, example enough statistical evidence that the true mean is less than 3, and very interesting graphs. You can see a sample t-test here. You can now see a chi-squared test, example McNamara test. Here you can see an ANOVA test. Note that you only need to key in the data appropriately. AsterWrite does the ANOVA calculations and displays the test results based on the hypothesis. Here you see a Likert scale test for several items created in the Likert test applet. The distribution for any item can be studied selectively. AsterWrite consolidates the research findings in an amazing way. It detects all the tests you have conducted and summarizes the sub-research statement, null and alternate hypotheses, the statistical decisions, and the conclusions. It can also detect if your test is not populated with data and prompts test data not available. Cascading from the research findings, AsterWrite compares the aims and the results for each research or sub-research statement. If the test result rejects HO, AsterWrite substantiates this by enough statistical evidence that the statement is proven. If the test result does not reject HO, AsterWrite substantiates this by not enough statistical evidence for the statement. You will then need to study a statistical test all the way from the research or sub-research statement. When all the research or sub-research statements are substantiated in the test status, AsterWrite displays a trophy. When at least one of the research or sub-research statement is not substantiated in the test status, AsterWrite displays a work to do. Indeed, further work to do will look daunting to any researcher at this stage. With AsterWrite, iterative revision of research or sub-research statements and all the cascading activities need not be frightening. This is yet another interesting aspect of AsterWrite. The thesis progress allows you to track what needs to be done and what has been done. A graph then displays the percentage of work completed. Different graphs display the work to be done and work completed in different ways. The thesis progress is very helpful to researchers in avoiding the "I'm almost complete" feeling when in fact much needs to be done. AsterWrite provides a page to add your appendices. Any special forms, large amounts of data, etc. can be included in the appendices. AsterWrite allows you to add references. The Manage Sources within References allows you to add large numbers of references that you used in your program of work. Finally, AsterWrite helps you to conduct deeper research in your own way. Create thesis statement and research questions systematically. Postulate null and alternate hypotheses correctly. Conduct statistical tests and data analysis efficiently. Infer decisions and conclusions correctly. When you meet obstacles, AsterWrite is the tool to help you fix your mistakes. AsterWrite is the best tool available for your thesis writing. Above all, AsterWrite allows you to graduate on time. Sign up to realize the benefits of AsterWrite and head to your graduation on time. For more information, see our other videos on research and thesis writing. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.